Well, I've just come back from foraging for wild sumac, and sumac is what a lot of people consider an invasive weed, but in fact, it's not. It's one of the great allies that we could use for medicinal purposes. There are many species of sumac, and this is not the poisonous sumac that everybody freaks out about. You really can't mistake the two for each other. They're totally different families. But the poisonous sumac grows as a low covering bush with white balls. The sumac we're looking at is a tall plant. It can go up to 8 feet tall. And at the top, it has these clusters. And they're furry. The stem is furry. I don't know if you can see how furry they look. You see that? Oh yeah, you can see that. And the berries are, oh my goodness, they're so tiny. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. So that is a sumac berry. And to pull them off, it's time consuming. It is a labor of love, but you just go slowly and pluck them off. And what you're doing actually is just collecting that little furry body, and inside there's a hard seed. I'm going to be making two different things with this once I get through it. I'm going to try to see if I can show you what I'm doing here. So literally, I'm plucking off. See that? Just taking off the berries. But I do it with the tip of my nail, and I just scrape off, and that way they come off a lot quicker. You don't need a lot of these. Like, I picked maybe 15 tops. I may go back and get some more later. But what I'm going to do is end up with this. Those are the berries. I'm gonna make two things with these. One is going to be a sumac honey, which is an infused honey and works way better than any cough medicine. Now, sumac, I have to say, has a lot of beneficial properties like anti-inflammatory, antihistamine, but that's not the reason I'm getting it. What I'm getting it for is its vitamin C content, which is huge. If you put one of these berries on your tongue, it is potent. That's that vitamin C coming out. But that's why it pairs so well with honey. Because when you get the vitamin C and the honey, if you have a sore throat or a cold come winter, if you think about it, a teaspoon of that, you could take it straight as you would a cough syrup, or you could put a teaspoon in some hot water and have a nice sumac tea. It's perfect. The other thing I'm going to do is dehydrate by using my oven to dry out the little seed pods. And from there, what I will do is just take the covering, but separate from the seed. And then I'll just have dry sumac, which is, you can season food with it. It's very big in Middle Eastern and like Turkish cuisine. But you could also just take a teaspoon of the dried sumac and make a tea with it. So right now I have the painstakingly task. See how it takes a while. It is a labor of love, but I do this once a year. So really, how difficult is that? And foraging for medicinal purposes is something I really enjoy doing. I like learning about what's available in our environment to benefit us medicinally, rather than just reaching for the over-the-counter drugs that aren't always the best thing for you. They have a lot of additives, a lot of preservatives, and I try to take as least amount of synthetic medicines as possible, and I would rather have a teaspoon of a natural medicinal plant that gives me vitamin C rather than having a vitamin C supplement, which your body doesn't really know how to process because it's not natural. So I will, when I have all of these separated again, there they are, I'm going to show them to you. Once I have these separated, I will show you how I make my honey and how I treat the dehydrated berries. What I'm going to do with these is I'm just going to throw them in some water and make myself some sumac tea, which is like a lemonade. Might as well use those. I just wanted to show you how easy they do come off, but it does take some time. I'm not going to lie. It takes time, but it's once a year, not a big deal. See how they just come right off the stem? I just thought I'd add that in so that you could see it a little bit closer up than what I was showing you before. See? They come right off. Don't lick your fingers after doing this. You'll get a sour pucker. I bet you these would make really good gummies, almost like a sour gummy bear or sour worm. Maybe I'll try that one day. Okay, so here we have the berries, and I have placed them on a cookie sheet. I'm going to put this in my oven on the lowest setting possible for a couple of hours, and then what I will do is just leave it in there overnight so it dehydrates a bit. I will be using this for my sumac teas throughout the winter. Now this here is half a jar of the sumac berries. That's all you need. You don't need more than half a jar. This is going to be my vitamin C honey that I will be using throughout the winter. Just gonna pour some honey on there. I warmed the bottle a little bit to make it easier to pour. Perfect. Now, I'm going to put a lid on this. I will do a little bit of a stir in there just to get it incorporated nicely. I hope you can see that. As time goes by and the honey starts pulling out all those beautiful properties from the berries, I may top this up with a little bit more honey. Actually, you know what? I might actually put a few more berries in there. Go. Look, it's already starting to drop in level, which means that the honey is getting right into every little crevice of those berries. This is awesome. See if I can get a little bit more honey in there. Now, always try to use as local as possible and unpasteurized honey. That's my if you need to get honey, get it unpasteurized. You want all those beautiful benefits that you get from honey. I'm making a serious mess here, and it's an excuse for me to lick my fingers. I really love that tart flavor you get from sumac. I am more of a tart and salty than sweet person. But what I'm going to do is let this sit. I will never remove the berries from mine. I know some people strain it. I leave the berries in there. And when, you feel a little cold coming on in winter, or you have a little bit of a sore throat, You take a little bit of this, add some hot water, and make a beautiful honey sumac tea. Now let's get this in the oven and I'll just package that up tomorrow. Well, here we have it. Can't get any more easier than this. We have our jar. I've got my slightly dehydrated sumac. Now, some people will put this through a food processor and separate the seeds out of it. I don't bother doing that. What I do is I just use a teapot. Let me just grab one that I can show you. I just use a teapot such as this, where it has a little filter. I place the berries in there. Actually, I'll just show you how easy this is. Just give it a quick rinse. I just put a few berries in there. And like a tablespoon is more than enough. And you would add your boiling water, but you could also do like a sumac lemonade with cold water. So this is previously boiled water. So this to me will be a beautiful sumac lemonade I'll be having later today. Within a couple of hours, this will start to turn nice and red. But that's all I do. I don't need to take those seeds out. It's just extra work that I don't need. But let me just show you here how hard this is. Like, people think that having herbal medicines is a complicated thing. It really isn't. You're smart enough to do this. Learn the benefits of the plants and herbs around you. Always pick from clean areas. You don't want roadside. If you can avoid that, that makes a lot of sense. You got pollution from cars and whatever else is out there. Definitely don't want anywhere where an animal would be, you know, doing its business. There you go. This, my friends, is going to be my sumac for tea, lemonades. You could even sprinkle this on foods. It gives that little tart flavor. That's what they do in a lot of Turkish cuisine. But this is just one picking. I'm probably going to go out a few more times this year and stock up my supply. I want you to try this. I want you to benefit from all these natural herbs that we have. So go out, live your best life.